Alright, we built the arm and all the axes are going exactly with they're not going exactly with it because I didn't put the pivot point in the right spot. They're at the right angle, but not the right pivot. And the right spot to actually rotate from. So I did it right on, I guess I didn't snap this one properly. This guy is in the right spot, so no, it's not. So let me show you how to actually fix this, which is actually kind of good to know. Again, I'm going to select the shoulder. I'm going to make sure the pivot's in the right spot there. It is. And that one's right. Alright, so let's select the shoulder. Come into your hypergraph, hit F. And I'm going to come to the hand. Actually, the hand's already compressed. So if the hand, looks like this, double click on it, which will compress it. Open it up again. So I will delete these three, which is the parent constraint off the hand, the orientation. Actually, we probably don't need to destroy it off this guy. But I'm going to do it just in case, because sometimes moving the pivot around might actually disturb this. So let's just play it safe and blow away those three, which will also destroy the elbow, which is the third one. Now we can change the pivot point for those to be in the right spot. Then just reapply your connections. Parent constraint with maintain offset. Same thing for this guy, and this guy to this guy will be the orient. Make sure it's only X. Hit apply. Alright, now let's do the fingers. So I'm going to create a circle. Yep. And we're going to put one in for the hand and the fingers. I'm just going to do one because this is supposed to be kind of to show you how to do some simple rigging. And the thing about the fingers, they're all kind of the same thing. The thumb and the finger are the ones that are kind of different. The way I did this thumb, it's actually going to not be a problem because the thumb is a straight line. But sometimes you build your thumb joints in a different kind of angle to wrap around in case if the person modeled the thumb a little bent, then you kind of have to put the joints in those spots. So I may do the thumb also the way I would have to do a thumb if it was bent. That's largely how you would do the arm. You put a group node between every control. But with a finger, you shouldn't have to. Alright, got one there. I'll duplicate it, move it down to the next knuckle, duplicate, next knuckle. Those controls in the right spot. Alright, we got 3 controls for 3 joints. Gonna go to my hypergraph, hit F. Let's group them correctly, parent them correctly. So I built them in that order, so I connected them back in that order. So there's the first one, second one, third one. Pop a group node, select them all. Right hand, right finger index. I'm going to freeze everything out. But I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to pull this guy off. Go back to show joints, and let's get the pivot points for these guys in the same spot. Snap, snap, snap. On the same spot, and select this joint, select the group node, and I'm going to do the parent constraint without maintain offset, which will put it in the right spot and align it As you can see, there's where the rotations are in there. Toss it back on and freeze them. And now this finger, all the pivot points should move with the finger. So if I pull them down, they would roll in. They're not going to rotate with the world. After that, if I want to get the other ones working, I would color them first before I start duplicating them. Control A, component, object display, drawing overrides, enable. There we are. And repeat the So when I would duplicate it, what you can do it'll actually do most of the work for you. You can select the joint, select the index group node, do a parent constraint without maintain offset, and you can see it realigns it pretty well. If you need to move the controls, but as you can see, that worked out. And I'll delete that. Make sure there's no information on these guys, which they're not. Duplicate, joint, group node, without maintain offset. Looks good. As you can see, there might be a little bit, you might have to snap your the controls in the right spot, like move them a little bit, because it's going to be a little bit different for this guy at the end. I know that. Duplicate, joint, group node, parent constraint without maintain offset, and now they're all lined up. I'll select this guy, go to my translation tool, set it to object, so it would just go right up the chain and get that in the right spot. You're going to want to do the middle knuckle before doing the tip of the finger. That looks right. Yep. Alright. And then snap all the pivot points in the right spot and apply your parent constraints. So those are the fingers. I think I was creating them all individually and doing a hand rotation. So that's a new technique I just kind of figured out to kind of have them all align pretty quickly. And then you can do some modifications with them afterwards. And again, it's easy to rename them. So there's my index, so this would be my mid, ring. There you can see there's 4, 5, and 6. Not 1, 2, and 3. I guess if you want the 1, 2, and 3, we would need to, how would I want to change the naming? Ring, finger. I guess we could type in finger, and then we have 1, 2, and 3. I just don't like the names being that long. As you can see, there's a 6 attached to that. I don't know why. So let's go blah, and then let's try the finger index. 1, 2, and 3. So that's the group node, and then 1, 2, and 3. So if you want to type in finger, it's just I don't like the names being that big. And then do the constraints to them. I'm going to do the thumb in the next video. I'm going to flip it, show you how to realign it really quickly, and then I'm going to move to weighting body pieces. The head's the most complicated one, but understanding how to weight the feet, legs. I'm only going to be able to show you so much, but I'll be able to cover a lot. This is the lower polygon character. The higher res it is, the longer it's going to take to weight it, because you have to make sure all those verts move nicely. F10.